Stage 5 of the CRO race. We're heading from the coast, we're heading inland to Alzalje. 189 kilometers for the riders. And it's going to be a big battle for the general classification and for the stage victory. This is where we're getting underway from at Črkvanica. Starting from the coast in this beautiful area. Crystal clear waters, a wonderful place with the beaches. The town nestled all the way from the coast up the hill. In love with Črkvanica. A nice photo opportunity for the riders, and here the riders come to the sign-on here at the start town. There's Travis Steadman in the middle, the South African road race champion. They'll be looking after their man Nicolo Parasini today. He's 4th overall at 5 seconds. Team DSM Firmenich in and on in the background. Tobias Lund Andreasen looking to try and take a stage victory today. There's yesterday's stage winner on the Queen stage. Here he is, Mati Mohoric. He became the king on the Queen stage. They roll out at 10:05 local time, 2 kilometers of neutral. There is Tobias Andreasen. Our new leader in the general classification is the 21-year-old rider from the Ineos Grenadiers. That's Magnus Sheffield. Here he is in that resplendent red jersey. Just alongside him is Jonas Abrahamsen, the Dane from Uno X Pro Cycling. Big points on offer. First all, let's have a little look at what is in store for the riders after they get underway. They head from Črkvanica on the coast, they make their way from the coast inland. They head into a headwind on that first categorised climb before descending their way onto the plateau. But don't underestimate the back end of the stage as the flag is waved. It's 10:10 local time, and once again it's Dylan Hopkins, the 22-year-old Australian rider from Ljubljana Kusto Santic, who has decided he wants to try and have a slice of the cake in the breakaway today. He's a strong rider, he's an all-rounder. He's not afraid to lay it all on the line. Trying to come across is Mateusz Stojcek, the Slovakian road race champion from ATT Investments. Also trying to get themselves right in the mix is Team Hrinko Adrix. It's not settled down in this early part of the stage. There's still plenty of attacks flying off the front, as now we see a move here from Tilen Finch, the Slovenian rider of Agio Mobil, the continental Slovenian team. 26-year-old, trying to get himself in a move. Alongside him is Artur Sowinski. They go across the top of the King of the Mountain, the Peloton, some way back, but there are 5 riders in the breakaway. Jonas Rapp, Fran Miholivic, Schuren, Sowinski and Samson, who mop up the points in that first categorised climb. Big points for Rapp, and that provisionally puts him in the lead of the King of the Mountains jersey by 2 points to Michal Schuren. Had Schuren beaten Fran Miholivic there for the 2nd place, they'd have been on equal points. There's still all to play for into the 6th and final stage tomorrow into Zagreb. It's going to be laid all on the line. Well, this is a stage where the Peloton might not want the breakaway to get to the intermediate sprints. They might want to try and take away those bonus seconds, but the breakaway has relented, and Fran Miholivic has taken 5 with the 3 bonus seconds. Sowinski taking the 3 and the 2 bonus seconds, with Jonas Rapp taking the 1 and the sole remaining bonus second. The breakaway are having it their way, and they're making it difficult for the Peloton. temperature outside, 24 degrees, an easterly, northeasterly wind, 4 kilometers per hour, 56% humidity. We've got gusts of wind of 12, 13 kilometers per hour. It's pleasant conditions. It's not such a strong wind, however, they've got that slight headwind as they head from the coast, heading northeast. They'll have a crosswind from 66 kilometers to go, but once again, it's nothing too strong to do the damage. 6 riders originally in the breakaway: Fran Mihaljevic, Lucas Postelberger, Jonas Rapp, Michael Schuren, Andy Sampson and Artur Sawinski. That goes to 3 riders, Mihaljevic, Rapp and Sawinski, who remain out front, and it's all being controlled at the head of the peloton by Uno X Pro Cycling, with Caja Rural Seguros RGA in the white and green jerseys, with Team DSN Firmenich putting Oscar Onley, the young rider from Scotland, up towards the front. They want to try and protect Matthew Dinham's place in the general classification, but they also want to try and bring this back to a bunch sprint for Tobias Andreasen. 2 minutes and 25 seconds is the advantage. Their maximum time gap earlier on was 4 minutes and 30. Uno X Pro Cycling sense the danger. The highest placed rider within the general classification here is Jonas Rapp, the German rider for that continental squad. Let's have a little look at the profile once again and where the riders are on the road. They've just gone through the 3rd and final intermediate sprint of the day. The first king of the mountain of the day makes the rest of the little short rises look simple, straightforward. I can tell you in this part, as we head towards the countryside just west of Zagreb, it's certainly not. It's going to be hard roads all the way to our finish of Odzalje. Inside 60 kilometers remaining, the gap at 1 minute and 31 seconds. Uno X Pro Cycling with 3 riders who all have the potential to be up there in the general classification. Jonas Gregard is at 14 seconds. Torsten Train, the highest of the 3, at 8 seconds, with Alexander Kristoff, who arguably is their main leader going forward because he's the fastest sprinter of the team. He's at 9 seconds in the classification. And with 10, 6 and 4 bonus seconds available at the finish line, he's got a big opportunity to try and climb his way closer to that red leader's jersey. 26-year-old Polish rider in the white and lime green jersey kicks on at the front for Voster ATS. That's Artur Sawinski. There is the home rider, the man racing on home roads in his home tour, Fran Mihaljevic from Croatia, racing for Bahrain Victorious. The 21-year-old is at 5 minutes and 7 seconds in the classification, just on his wheel in the lime green and faded navy blue. Here's Jonas Rapp, he's at 2:57. They've had some great cooperation between them in that breakaway group. Arguably, it's a shame that they couldn't remain with the 3 riders who were tailed off early on in the stage. They would have been a huge, huge help to the trio out front. Now on the front, it's Yuri Letau, stage winner on stage 2 into Navalier. Just alongside him is Jefferson Cepeda, the former Ecuadorian road race champion. The gap at 1 minute and 40 seconds, and for Bahrain Victorious, they wanted to come into today's stage and make the race hard. They wanted to really do some damage. As we see a little problem here for the rider of Santic Vivatech, that's Peter Pekala. Alongside him from Adja Mobile is Christian Hochevar. Yuri Letau arguably could have been the man for today's stage. He could have been the protected rider from Caja Seguros RGA. He's fully committing and sacrificing his day for a stage for Luis Aular, who himself, he's a terrific sprinter. He really suits this finale. But he's also up there in the general classification. He's second overall, and it's a slender deficit that he has. It's 1 second to Magnus Sheffield, who leads in the red jersey. Ethan Hayter is in third at 4 seconds. It's all very close, with Nicolo Patasini in fourth at 5 seconds. There's yesterday's stage winner, Mati Mohoric, who won the Queen stage. There's Enzo Leinzer of Team DSN Firmenich, and Viktor Potocki, the Croatian road race champion of Ljubljana Gusto Santic. It was a good move yesterday from Mati Mohoric. It was an exceptional sprint all the way into Labine. The Breakaway trio aren't making this easy for the Peloton who chase behind. Caja Rural, they want the stage and they want the jersey with Luis Aular. Uno X Pro Cycling want to try and put Alexander Kristoff into the mix. He's 12th overall at 9 seconds, but they also want to try perhaps something. Also there are Equipo Kern Farmer trying to protect the 6th place overall for Urco Barada. Great result and great riding from the 25-year-old Spaniard. Three teams ride at the head of the peloton. It's Equipo Kern Farmer who have got themselves all amassed towards the front. Yesterday they had a huge loss because it was Francisco Galvin who didn't finish the stage, and he would have been a vital asset to that squad today. A big shame for them, but they've had to adapt, move on, reassess the situation, and they need to try and protect Urco Barada. All of the bonus seconds have been mocked up at the intermediate sprint by the Breakaway. It's Fran Miholivic who's won and taken points, and the bonus seconds in all 3 of those intermediate sprints. He puts himself on 15 points, courtesy of today's stage, in that points classification jersey. That jersey on the shoulders of Tobias Andreasen. That's where we are along the route as we get deeper and deeper into the countryside. They'll get to the finishing loop with 18.5 kilometers to go. They'll enter that final lap, they'll cross the finish line and they'll hear the bell lap. It'll be 18 kilometers remaining. But until then, we've got a trio of climbs that come with 23 kilometers to go. They're short, sharp climbs, but they're certainly a good opportunity for any attacks to launch. Still got the cohesion here within this trio. 2 at the back of Fran Miholivic looking for their first professional victories, and they're doing a good job of it because they're making the peloton really work hard. It's always been Bahrain Victorious who said they wanted to come into today's stage, make it difficult, move up in the general classification. The gap comes down to 1 minute and 7 seconds with 30.8 kilometers remaining. There's Jonas Rapp, the virtual leader in the King of the Mountains competition. Barring any accident, injury, crashes, as long as he finishes the stage, he'll be making a trip to the podium at the end of today. He'll be the new leader in that green King of the Mountains jersey. He swings to the right-hand side, and this is a massive attack from Fran Miholivic. Fran Molic, who has decided he can't wait for these two any longer. He sensed the moment to make a move on instinct. And as the gap starts to come down to the peloton to 1 minute and 1 second, it's now or never for the home rider. He's a two-time individual time trial champion of his nation. He's used to this type of effort. It's 30 kilometers of pain and suffering until he'll get to the finish line in Azalier. On the front, it's Oscar Onley of Team DSM Firmenich. The man who carved a name for himself 1 year ago at this very race has been put to work to protect Matthew Dinham and Tobias Lund Andreasen. Jori Lettau is still there. Now we see the arrival up towards the front of the team in the silver jerseys. That's Q36.5, trying to move up Nicolo Parasini. Several riders to think of for today's stage as we go through 29 kilometers remaining, the gap just coming under the 1 minute marker for the first time. Riders, if this comes down to a bunch sprint, riders to think for: Elia Viviani could be there, Mateusz Kovacar, Nicolo Buratti, Tim Thorn Teutenberg of Lidl Trek, who's currently a stagiaire, the man from Cologne, Campbell Stewart of Jayco Alula, David Martin of Iolo Cometa, also Dylan Finch, Jiri Petrus, Alexander Kristoff, or Luis Aulard, Giovanni Lenardi. It's touch and go whether Miholivic can hang on. 41 seconds with 26.8 kilometers remaining. They head along the river, but he's right into his rhythm. He gets himself as aerodynamic and as low as possible. The big chain ring right at the bottom of the block, churning a monstrous gear. He's already had 3 professional victories during his short, young career in the World Tour. A stage winner in the Giro di Sicilia last year, a 2-time winner of the individual time trial of his nation. He knows what it takes to win. He's within a squad who he's learnt a lot from in the past year, his first year in the World Tour. And having someone to learn from after yesterday's victory, someone like Mati Mohoric, is huge for a 21-year-old. Matteo Badilati, the Swissman on the front. There on his wheel is Jori Lettau. Inside 20 kilometers remaining, the gap at 55 seconds. We're starting to see some splits happen in the peloton, but Miholivic still has his advantage. He'll enter the circuit in 600 meters. That's when he'll take the right-hand turn. He'll enter into that finishing circuit with 18.5 kilometers remaining. He'll get into the barriers, into the hoardings, and he'll see 1 lap remaining, the bell lap. There'll be 18 kilometers to go. Is this enough, or is it going to be Heartbreak Hotel for the local home rider? He hears the cheers at the roadside. He sprints out of each and every corner. There isn't a moment where he can relax. Alias Jark has his supporters at the roadside. We're not too far away from the Slovenian border. Miholivic is right into his rhythm. And takes a look around as he sees the hoardings of the barriers. The motorbikes try and get themselves out of the gap. And the peloton aren't too far behind. Miholivic hears the bell. 18 kilometers remain, and what has the Croatian rider for Bahrain Victorious got left in the tank? Yesterday it was glory for his teammate Mati Mohoric as they cheer and bang the barriers, and Uno X Pro Cycling in the red jerseys are in full flight to try and bring back the 21-year-old. They've amassed themselves up towards the front. They've been the team who have been in control all day. They still haven't managed to bring back the last surviving rider from the breakaway. They're certainly doing the damage at the back. Inside 14 kilometers to go. This has been a brave, bold, arduous move from Molic. The last survivor of the breakaway is caught, and it's all back together here on stage 5 of the CRO race. Uno X Pro Cycling on the left, now starting to form their lead out for Campbell Stewart is Jaco Alula. More recruits come to the front in those sky blue jerseys for Iolo Cometa. And he's not out of it from Miholovic. He could still play a big part for Nicolo Burati. Just in front of him is Dylan Hopkins. Inside 3 kilometers to go. They're onto this narrow country road, and it's the Ineos Grenadiers who've decided they want to try and take control up towards the front. Jaco Alula still have room to move on the left, as do Bahrain Victorious. But the Ineos Grenadiers, they've still got Elia Viviani here. They also want to try and keep Magnus Sheffield in the red leaders jersey. There he is, the 21-year-old rider from the USA. He's currently following Viviani, and Viviani is looking for his second stage victory. Philip Maciuk on the right-hand side, he's got Nicolo Burati. But now we've gone from having Uno X Pro Cycling in the driving seat, they were the force to be reckoned with, and now they're nowhere to be seen at the front of the peloton. It's Ineos Grenadiers who've taken complete control. Joshua Tarling with a big acceleration into this crucial left-hand turn. He accelerates out of this move. And look at the damage that he does behind. If you're out of position now, it's going to be incredibly difficult to try and move up. Some of the favourites for today's stage have found themselves misplaced, and this is going to take an awful lot of energy to try and get back on terms. 67.2 kilometers per hour inside the final 2 kilometers. Moving himself up and getting himself onto the train of the Ineos Grenadiers. There's Tim Ton Teutenberg, number 26. The man from Cologne is looking for his first pro victory. He's also looking to gain experience. He's a stagiaire with Lidl Trek. There's Luis Aulard, the Venezuelan road race champion, gets himself onto the wheel of Burati. Giovanni Lenardi is locked onto the wheel of Alexander Kristoff, and Kristoff, having gone from his whole team in front of him, now he's only left with the Norwegian Jonas Abrahamsen. The Australian road race champion drives it on the front. The final left-hand turn comes with 800 meters to go. They'll go under the Flamme Rouge any moment now, and Luke Plapp with a big turn, followed by Luke Rowe. Here comes Jonas Abrahamsen. Moving up is Alexander Kristoff, and here comes Lucas Postelberger. Under the Flamme Rouge, 1 kilometer remaining. Mateusz Govacar takes a look over his shoulder and almost comes into grief as he almost touches the wheel of Alexander Kristoff. Mati Mohoric leads them into the final left-hand corner, and this is a big move from Connor Swift on the right, and down comes the leader in the general classification. Magnus Sheffield has come down in the final kilometre, and that's not good news for the Ineos Grenadiers. There's bonus seconds available at the finish line, and that may well put him out of the jersey. The attention turns to the sprint here at the finish in Ozalier. Alexander Kristoff is without any teammates here at the front. He's left to lead it out from a long, long way. Luis Aulard gets himself there. Here comes Parisini. Andreas tries to make a move, but here comes Tim Ton Teutenberg. Down the centre of the road is the man from Cologne, but here comes the Venezuelan road race champion. Luis Aulard is challenging all the way to the line, and he wins stage 5 of the CRO race. Kristoff was pushed all the way to the finish. He has to settle for second. It's delight for this man. Teamwork to perfection. They committed their teams throughout the day. Fernando Barthelo played a crucial role in that finale. Yuri Latau was exceptional. That one's for his baby daughter. Smiles and joy for Alois Aular. This was the moment. He kept himself onto the right-hand side of the barriers. He kept himself tight, and Alexander Kristoff having to come late. It looked as though Ethan Hayter managed to snatch the third place on the stage from his teammate Elia Viviani. Tinton Teutenberg, he went early. He managed to stay within the top 10. Campbell Stewart is left waiting for his first pro victory. But Alois Aular, what a performance from the Venezuelan road race champion. He timed that one to perfection. He was confident. He wins the stage. He simply is the best. It was his teammate on stage 2, Yuri Latau, and now Aular gets his stage victory. He wins ahead of Kristoff, Hayter, Viviani, Andreasen, Lenardi, Stewart, Teutenberg, Berardi and Parasini, who round out the top 10. And this is what has happened to the general classification. It's Alois Aular who now leads the red leaders jersey ahead of Hayter and Sheffield, both at 9 seconds.